it is. Welcome to Rest Reviews.
You can't remember what it is?
No, because I was listening to the one with Amanda where you guys were talking about the Switch and she said it wrong. And you were like, that's not it. So then I was like, I don't actually know what it is.
Yeah. You're now listening to Russ Reviews.
You want me to say that right now?
Yeah.
You're now listening to Rest Reviews.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Russ Reviews podcast. I am the aforementioned Russ, and this week's episode, we're heading to Broadway. Sort of. We're going to be talking about musical theater with a friend of mine, Hillary Campbell. Hillary, welcome to Russ Reviews.
Thank you. Thank you. It's an honor.
Yeah, so people know from the title, we're going to be talking about Wicked, specifically the Broadway version. We will touch on the movie a little bit, but we're both fans of Wicked the musical, and you have a background in musical theater, and you're also one of the funniest people I know. So I was like, we got to make sure to get Hillary on, and who
That is a
knows?
lot of pressure.
It's no pressure, and maybe you'll become a professional podcaster in this next stage of life.
I hope so.
I do too. But Hillary, so I'm getting confused with my release schedule because I keep recording episodes and then, I'm like saving them. So I'm not sure when one will come out. I have a Les Mis episode. What do you think of that?
Of Les Mis or the episode?
The book.
The book. I've never read the book. I've only seen the national tour of Les Mis, and
Okay.
to be honest, I did not like it.
Oh, great. Well, I've never seen the musical. I've only read the book. So that'll be coming. Caleb and I did an episode on Hollywood Studios. That's going to be coming probably. That both those might have come out already by the time people are listening to this. But I wanted to share, Hillary. I've hit 50 followers on
Wow.
on Spotify and Apple.
Wait, that's so exciting.
Thank you. Yeah, I wanted to. I just counted today, so I wanted to mention that.
Maybe I can become your 51st.
Hillary has listened to two half episodes, so thank you so much.
I'm a real supporter.
Um, so yeah, just bit by bit, it's been hard to grow subscribers on other platforms. I'll be honest. X is probably the hardest, and then that's the one I've mainly been trying. But you might think this is funny, but I did a conversation with Grok AI, and I said, "How do I get followers?" And it was a pretty fun chat. I'm not gonna lie. So
Have you considered an episode where the guest is like Grok or ChatGPT?
no, people have done that already, and that kind of scares me. I feel like I need a famous person to really pop off. So
Yeah,
if
sure.
if you know anybody, um,
I think that this episode right now could really land you on the map.
I
So,
agree. You're a minor celebrity of the
small
Denton
town celebrity.
area. So, but yeah. So how about we tell people a little bit about you before we dive into Wicked, and then yeah, we'll take it from there. So, Hillary, who are you?
Yeah, again, I don't exactly know how to answer that. I'm Hillary. I like even as I would share my occupation, I'm like, I don't know. I'm kind of like in this weird in between where I'm like, I don't know what to say about myself.
Yeah, that's kind of you're at a crossroads, I'd say, in life.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, Hillary and I know each other through work. We work for the same organization as Caleb, who you've met in past episodes. And Hillary, where'd you? I don't know if I know this actually. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Wichita Falls, Texas.
Oh, okay. And then you're an Aggie, right?
I am an Aggie, yes. I went to A&M, class of 2018. Whoop!
Gig 'em. And then we met through our various Aggie friends. And then, like I said earlier, our bond is humor. We both enjoy cutting up and making jokes and picking on Steven, your husband.
Yes, absolutely.
And yeah, we've just kind of been friends from a distance through our mutual employment, and yeah, like you mentioned, you're kind of in a season of exploration. And I'm pulling for podcaster now. I think this would be the great a great path.
I could see it. I could see it. I'm leaning towards going back to school, but maybe I could do both.
Oh, theater school?
No,
Why?
I could not. I could not make it. I did want to be a theater teacher though when I was growing up. I was so sure that I was going to be a theater teacher.
That's a perfect segue. Let's talk about that. So yeah, tell me. Um, I knew I wanted to talk to you about musical theater, and this was one musical that we both had a mutual interest in. I married a theater kid. My wife Megan studied theater, and she works kind of in the production side.
Okay.
So I'm really not a big expert. I watch the Tonys every now and then. So yeah, you're kind of my musical theater expert, and yeah, why don't you start there? Kind of talk about your story with theater, and I didn't know that. I didn't know that you wanted to be a teacher. That's cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like as soon as I said I didn't like Les Mis, anyone who cares about theater probably already stopped listening. Because that is like the worst thing you could say. But yeah, so I was a kid. I don't know. I may have been in like fifth grade or something like that, and I went to man, I maybe had not even like at this point heard of theater or like musical theater or community theater, whatever.
Hmm.
We had a community theater, which actually was really good in Wichita Falls. And maybe someone invited me or whatever. We went to as a family to one of the shows, and I was like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. Like, I want to be on stage doing that. And so immediately I was like, Mom, can I please audition for, they did lots of like junior shows where it was a cast of people all under 18. So I tried out for, was it Sleeping Beauty? Yes.
Oh,
Sleeping
cool.
Beauty was the first show I tried out for. So I want to say I'm in like sixth grade, maybe at this point, sixth or seventh grade. Um, I try out, and it was like this weird, dark version of Sleeping Beauty. It wasn't Disney. But I made it, and I was a fairy,
Oh,
and
wow.
that was the beginning. I don't know how much you want me to go on now, but that was kind of the start of getting into it, and I was just like, I'm hooked. Theater is so cool.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. So, yeah, let's keep going. How did that continue to? I guess what was the first musical you saw? Was that the first one or?
Yeah, I don't remember what it was. I was thinking about that before recording this, and I'm like, I have no memory of what it was that I saw.
Okay.
It almost was like it just didn't matter. Just seeing people on stage like trying hard at something and being awesome, I was like, I want to do it. So I have no idea. I know that Wicked was the first one I ever saw on Broadway, but it was just some local community production was the first like musical I saw. And then yeah, so I was in Sleeping Beauty.
Okay.
I was a fairy. My mom was driving me to rehearsals multiple times a week. Took up a lot of time. I'm so thankful
Mm-hmm.
that my mom was very willing to do that. And yeah, I just remember making a lot of friends. And so again, I did not have exposure to like musicals before this.
Okay.
So as I'm in theater and doing these shows or whatever in my first show, like just I'm surrounded by people who are totally theater kids and who they love theater, their parents love theater. And that was where I heard about Wicked for the first time. And so people were singing Wicked. And I wish I could remember what year this was. I don't know, maybe that's
Okay.
2007-ish. Wicked has not been out for a crazy long time at this
Sure.
point.
Yeah.
And so I start like, because I wanted, maybe probably because I just wanted to fit in with them, I start listening to like the Wicked soundtrack. I probably on YouTube or whatever, and I just fell in love with the songs and it was like, yeah, this is so fun because there's people doing it at a professional level, but I'm doing it here in town. And so then I was in, I want to say when I was growing up, I was in Sleeping Beauty and then Annie, maybe. I was an orphan and Annie.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. We rubbed like cocoa powder on our faces to look dirty. I was in Wizard of Oz.
Oh.
I was just like a person in Emerald City and Wizard of Oz. And then I was a Who in Seussical, which is like a
Wow.
Dr. Seuss based musical. So I did those.
Now, was
Uh,
this all before high school, or are we getting into high school yet?
I think we get into like ninth grade, maybe was Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
That was
Would
the
you
last.
have called yourself a quote unquote theater kid in high school? Like, was that your
No,
posse?
no, I really wouldn't have. I am like the weirdest, like I'm really into theater, but I didn't like do it in school or anything. I pretty much all of high school I like went in a totally different direction, and it took me many years to find my way back to musical theater.
Oh, okay. So after ninth grade, you stopped.
Yeah. So I never did anything with my school. It was all community theater, and I was in tennis and band, and just
Wow.
still involved in school. So I stopped doing theater, and it's just a huge time commitment.
It is, yeah.
It's a lot of fun, but it's a big time commitment. So there's no way I could really do it and be doing some of the other things I was doing. So I stopped for many, many years.
Okay. Well, you know me, like I get accused of being theatrical a lot. So people have always been like, "Oh, Russ, why didn't you ever do acting or do musicals?" You know, I got theater kid energy. I married one.
I really
Like,
do.
what happened with me was my first musical performance was in a fourth grade like pageant about conservation, and we sang a song about turning off the faucet when you're brushing your teeth. And I felt very stressed by all the memorizing and and stuff like that. Like I've never been great at memorizing, and then I have major performance anxiety, I think. But later on, then in high school, we had a task where we had to perform a like a scene from a play. So I was really into movies even as that age, and I was like, maybe I should do a Marlon Brando movie. So I did this. I did this scene from Streetcar Named Desire with like the Stella,
Yep, yep.
um, and the amount of panic I had around memorizing lines was like so unpleasant. I was just like, I can't do this. I can't. Um, and I'll still have nightmares to this day of me being in a play and not being able to remember my lines.
Yes, that is my reoccurring stress stream.
But I've never acted before. It's just
But
like that's how I knew it wasn't for me. And even like people have been like, "Oh, you should be a stand-up comic." I'm like, if it requires any rehearsal or memorizing, it's not for us. Like I need to be off the cuff, top of the head. Like I'm much more of an improviser. Um,
see, and I'm just really not. I like need those lines. I am the exact opposite. The only way I'm getting on stage is if I know exactly what I have to do and I've rehearsed it hundreds of times.
yeah, you did great. When I told you to say you're not listening to Rust reviews, that was like beautiful acting.
Thank you.
So yeah, my musical theater career ended around fifth grade, and then
Now, can you sing?
my acting career ended in probably I think that was junior year of high school. So what was
Can
your
you
question?
can you sing?
No, no. I tried. I took lessons in college, but I'm more of a drummer. That's kind of where my musical ability lay. I can play a little electric guitar, but
Then maybe musical theater is in fact not for you.
no, it's not. Podcasting, that's my lane.
Yeah, so far
Um,
it's good.
yeah, thank you. I wrote the intro song, so that's cool. I didn't use AI to make that. Very proud of myself. So,
You should be.
all right. So you went on a hiatus. The paparazzi were like, "Where's Hillary? Will she ever act again?
Yes,
What
it
happened?"
was really hard reading all like the articles about me, people just wondering why I've gone into hiding. So it was a really hard time in my life.
Yeah, Steven wasn't supportive of your passion for
Actually,
theater.
yeah. He was trying to hold me down.
He's like, "I want you to roast beans. We need you to roast coffee beans."
I really hope you have him on to talk about that at some point.
We'll see. Coffee is kind of a oversaturated topic right now. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
all
yes,
right.
I
So
think
what happened? How did you get back into it?
so then I'm in my career and I I don't know. Well, I have never lost like my enjoyment of musicals. Like when I graduated college, which that's actually when I saw Wicked on Broadway. I graduated college. My mom took me to New York as a graduation present, and we saw Wicked, The Lion King, and is it Margaritaville? It was like a
Jimmy
very
Buffett one?
yes, yes, which was really something.
Okay,
So we
that's a
saw
little
those.
different.
Yeah, and all this time I'm like I'm somewhat keeping up with musicals and I'm still like seeing shows like community productions, but I just haven't been anything. Um so so it has never left my mind. And yeah, as I'm in my career, I've graduated college or whatever, I still am like, oh, it'd be so cool to like do community theater. But I don't know, there's something about like it's really cute when you're like a kid and you're like, I want to do this. And I just like struggled with like I felt really stupid as an adult that I really wanted to be in a community theater production. And I don't have any friends who are like doing anything like that at this point in my life. And so I kind of built up the courage to like, maybe I'll look into it. But my job at the time, it was like rehearsals are going to be pretty much every weeknight, and I just can't do that.
Right.
So I continue to tell myself I'll never be a star. So then when we moved to Denton, Texas, which Denton is like super artsy, UNT is like known for being a music school. It's just a really artsy town. So I suspected that they probably had a really good community theater, and my job kind of allowed me to not be working in the evenings. And actually, Steven is super supportive. So I think he was probably the one that was like, you should really like try out for something. Like just
Oh,
do it. Like they I don't know, maybe we'll have kids someday or whatever that eventually it may not be as easy, but at that season of my life, I was like, yeah, why not just try? And it was like more intense than when I was a kid. Like I looked up the audition process and it's like you've got to come with your sheet music and your prepared like minute of song and be prepared to sing one of the songs from the musical, be
mm-hmm.
prepared to do these acting sides. I spent months. It probably was like over a month just preparing. Like, which song am I gonna sing? Steven listened to me for, yeah, I wish I could count the amount of hours that he spent like listening to me sing my song and get ready for audition. So the first show I auditioned for in Denton was Beauty and the Beast.
Okay. But you get to
And I
pick your song, right?
You pick one song from like outside of the musical,
Okay.
and then one song, at least for this particular audition, it was one song outside the musical, and then one song that is from the musical. So you have
Okay.
to do.
What'd you sing?
So I sang um Dangerous to Dream, which is from Frozen the musical.
Oh, that just dropped on Disney Plus.
Wow, that's exciting. I gotta watch that.
Yeah.
I've
We're
never actually seen it. I just like looked up audition songs for Beauty and the Beast because the idea is you do an audition song that's like in the spirit somewhat of the show,
mm-hmm.
which Frozen's obviously more contemporary than Beauty and the Beast would be, but
Sure.
they're both Disney.
That's funny. That makes me feel very old. Beauty and the Beast is old.
I mean the
Um,
show, yeah, I mean, yeah, it is. It's like the Broadway version is still very like golden age type music.
yeah, sure, sure. Okay, so the Frozen song, then what song did you pick for Beauty and the Beast?
I don't hmm I don't remember.
I'm gonna
Man,
say Be Our Guest.
it definitely was not Be Our Guest. That's like
Be our.
yeah, that was me on stage.
Hi, I'm Hillary Campbell. I'll be trying out for Lumiere.
I can't remember. The man, did I sing Beauty and the Beast like the Tale as Old as Time? I don't remember.
Okay. How does that work, by the way? Are you auditioning for a specific role, or do they cast you where they think you're the best fit?
So both of those. You fill out an again, I'm only speaking for Den, but you fill out an audition form that's like this is my vocal range. This is my past experience. This is these are my conflicts, but you do indicate like these are my top three role preferences.
Okay.
You don't have to fill that out, but they're going to consider you for, first for the roles that you put down. So I don't think on that one I put that I wanted to be anything in particular. but I was cast as one of the silly girls, so one of the three girls that are like, "Oh my gosh, Gaston, we love you."
Oh, funny. Oh, yeah, I remember seeing pictures of you in your costume
Yeah,
on Facebook. Yeah. Oh, that's a fun role.
which I feel like I've been typecast as now, which is so different from my personality, but I keep playing roles kind of like that.
Oh, that Gaston.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so that was
I keep getting typecast as you know, candlestick types with
yes, I can
trying.
see it. Your hands are kind of always up in that candelabra position.
Dude, you have no idea how true that is.
It really makes all of us uncomfortable.
Oh man. Okay, so you got the part. Congratulations.
I did.
And then what's it been like since? When was that? When was that
That
show?
was so I've done the December, like the Christmas show every year. So that I not 2024, 20, that was 2022.
Okay. So you've done three shows since
I've
22,
done
23,
three.
24.
Yes.
Okay. What other roles have you done so far?
So in 2023, I was in White Christmas, the musical, which I had never seen the movie. I also have this track record of like I audition so blindly. I'm like, I've never seen it. I don't know what this is about.
That's great.
But yeah, in White Christmas, my goal was just to make White Christmas a little more black, you know? Um, I guess for people who are listening and can't see me, I am black. I was just in the ensemble in that one.
Okay. Did you get to sing Sisters?
Oh, of
Sisters?
course I did not. I was just a mere ensemble member.
There's no ensemble in that part.
No, that's just your two lead ladies.
My in-laws and my wife, they love that musical. I've never seen it like all the way through, so it's kind of
I
a
think that the music, I went back and watched the movie. I was determined to not watch it until after we closed the show. But that was like one of the first things I did, like the week after we closed when I was crying because it was over. Because you get these post-show blues. But I think the musical is better than the movie.
oh, interesting. Why is that?
I think the story's more fleshed out. I think when you watch the movie, you're like, that I feel like it was just an opportunity for people to sing on TV, I guess, and dance. The storyline is like it's lacking.
Okay, that makes sense. So Beauty and the Beast, White Christmas.
And then most recently, this past Christmas, I was in Cinderella as one of the evil stepsisters.
Oh, wow. Cool. Was that fun to be a villain?
It was so fun. Well, because my character in this version of it, again, it wasn't Disney, but in this version of it, very just over the top. Like my character's kind of stupid and she's just real whiny, total brat. It was so, so fun to play. To be fair, I do feel like at some level I was playing myself. Um, but yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That's great. So then what's next?
I don't know. This year for the Christmas show, they're doing what is it? Um, The Hills are like Sound of Music.
Okay, cool.
I've also never seen.
I've seen that one. That's a big movie in my family, so it's a great way to learn the scales too. Do, dear.
Yeah.
Zoom's been like filtering out my singing and drumming, I've noticed, and I haven't quite figured out how to fix it, so I'm reticent to sing now on mic because
Zoom is protecting us all.
it's just like protecting the corporations, their copyright. So,
Yeah.
oh goodness. Okay, that's awesome. So I think a question that comes out of that for me, do you mind sharing how old you were when you went back into the scene?
What is that? 26, 25, 25,
Okay.
26?
So mid 20s, what advice would you give someone that, is out of college, because in high school and college, there's a lot of like organic opportunities to perform and act. What advice would you give someone who might be in a similar spot, like has a passion for it, has the skill set, but kind of missed that window in their teenage years to try it out? How would you encourage them to kind of take that leap that you took?
Yeah, I mean, I would just say, first of all, just do it. Like theater, one thing that I really, really love about theater is that I think that like at both the community theaters that I've worked with, such a welcoming community. they are like so excited for new people to come in and try that it doesn't feel very like elitist or like you don't know what you're doing. You have a lot of questions. Like I have been overwhelmed by people who are just like have the attitude of like, oh, we want to help you and make this a fun experience for you.
Mm,
You don't know how to do something, like that's totally fine. I'm excited to show you. So I would say, yeah, the theater community in general and everything I've heard is just incredibly welcoming. And again, one of my favorite parts about theater is that you're working like as a team with the people in the show, and they are
hmm
invested in you doing your best. Unlike maybe, like I don't sports or something where you're like competing or whatever. It's like me doing my best helps the show be better.
hmm
And so we're all working together towards this common goal. So I think people are just like really encouraging.
Yeah. Well, I think it's awesome that you went for it because I feel like sometimes in our mid 20s or I even felt that can feel this still in my late 30s is just like all my life's over. I can't I miss the boat. I miss the window. Like I can't do that thing now. And even like podcasting, I've been like, why am I doing this? I'm almost 40. Like, what's the point? But I just kind of felt like it was something I've always wished I would have tried to do. And it really doesn't matter how old you are. You can always shoot your shot.
Yeah, I feel like what I'm hearing is that you should audition for a musical.
Not me, you, the listener, whoever's listening to this.
You, Russ, are committed to auditioning for a musical.
I could do a musical maybe if it was all just singing poorly, because I can memorize song lyrics just fine. It's something about um, who wrote that? Tennessee Williams. Something about his dialogue was just hard for me to memorize. So
And then Les Mis is the show for you because it's literally all singing. There's not a single
yes,
spoken.
people have mentioned this to me as a knock on it, but I'm trying to read the book without having any knowledge of the musical because I feel like in American society that's been a impossibility for most people. So,
Sure, sure.
um, man, dude, that book is so good though. If you're looking for a 1,000-page novel to read, um,
Man, that doesn't sound fun. Um, I was gonna say going back also, I feel that in every show I've been in, I'm pretty sure as an adult, I have been far from the oldest person. So there are a lot of people who are younger who are in like college, that are doing the shows. But so many people who it's like I've had kids even, and they're kind of growing up to where now they don't need me at home. And I thought I'll try my hand at this. I'm in my 40s or 50s or whatever, and it's been really cool to see a lot of like people up until they're like, I think my first show, our oldest cast member was like in her 70s, maybe even 80.
yeah, no, that's awesome. And I just hope people that are listening just, if you need that nudge to try that project or try that thing that's kind of been hanging over you, let Hillary and I be the people that say just go for it. Shoot your shot.
Yeah, I'm picturing that like a Shia LaBeouf video from like way back where he's like, "Let's do it."
Just do it. You know what I was picturing? Michael Scott quoting Wayne Gretzky.
Oh yes, absolutely.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Michael Scott, Wayne Gretzky. Okay. All right. Are you anything else about your career, your theater career?
No, I mean, do you have any more questions about it?
I guess my only other question would be, do you want to try to break into the professional world or is that not even on your radar?
That I would say is not on my radar. I love doing it for fun at the community level where it's like
Okay.
we all are just people who are volunteering to be here. I think there's something really sweet about that. The like, not that this would not be that, but I just love the purity of like none of us are being paid to be here. In fact, we're probably paying something to
hmm
be to get whatever is necessary to complete my costume or whatever. It's like this is costing us. I think there's something really sweet about that.
Yeah. What do you make of that though? Because I feel this pressure that your hobby is not valid unless it's generating some form of income. Like you can't have a hobby, you just can only have a side hustle.
Yeah, I feel that, and that is stupid.
Okay. What?
Maybe
I,
that was really strong, but I
no,
just feel like
I know that I know that it is dumb, but I still can feel all this pressure. Like if this podcast doesn't get any ad revenue or something. Like it's dumb. You know, why do we feel that?
I don't know. I mean, I that is definitely I'm with you. That's like our culture now. This cultural moment, as they say. I don't know if you have to cut that. But yeah, I don't really know why the like hustle culture is so intense. Because I'm like, I just think to be like sustainable human beings, we have to have things that we're doing just for fun.
Mm,
So I don't know.
yeah. So, because yeah, I feel like that's a weird. Um, Caleb and I were talking about like how you define worth. You know, because people can be like, well, Disney World is just a total waste of money. But if it's something that you derive pleasure from and enjoyment and it fills your tank, like I feel like you don't have to be paid to do theater if it's giving you life, you know, bringing you joy and giving you a way to express yourself.
Yeah, I think as soon as you start like trying to make money off of something, like you just incrementally lose a little bit of the pleasure to it because
Yeah,
you're more dependent on it, or there's success starts to be defined as something other than just like enjoying it.
yeah. No, yeah, I've been grappling with that even just today because I was really getting I almost paid for a Twitter ad yesterday.
Mhm.
And I was just like, it just kind of gave me that existential crisis of like, why am I doing this? Am I doing this? Like, I don't actually want this to be a source of income. I'm just doing this because I really think it's fun. Why am I gonna try to boost this post to get more views, you know? So yeah, it just it feels so complicated.
Yeah, I
But
understand.
how did you kind of get your resoluteness on that? Like that it is okay to do theater without any sort of compensation.
Okay, well, first of all, I was never gonna make it at a level that was gonna pay me.
Okay.
Not that good. So, I mean, I guess I could like put in the work of like do voice lessons and all that. I don't know. I think I've just seen how like life-giving it is. And I again, the community has been really, really awesome. That and I hear stories of like I have, some friends who have done theater for money that I'm like, I think it changes the feel of the community a little bit
Yeah.
versus like we're just all happy for each other because we're all volunteering. No one's getting paid more or less depending on what role they are or anything like that. That's like we're having a lot of fun.
Yeah. And maybe maybe I'm just dumb, but I was like, I've heard you sing and I was like, I feel like Hillary could be a professional theater actor if she wanted to, but maybe I don't know what I'm talking about.
I think it would take a lot of work, but I had a lot of audition. Like I think you have to like this is my life now. I'm going to spend multiple
Yeah.
times a week in voice lessons and acting lessons and things like that. But I'm like, I'm just not willing to do. This is
Yeah.
not like my purpose. This is just a fun thing.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes a ton of sense. All right, so I have to confess something. I forgot to start the timer. Um, so I tried my best to guess when I should have started it. Um,
Mhm.
so we're gonna find out if this episode's an hour or not once we're done. So,
Great. Love it.
um, but yeah, according to my clock, we have 24 minutes left to talk about Wicked. Um, maybe I need to change the episode title to musical theater, but
Yeah, I'm a yapper, so you gotta cut me off.
see, no, this is exactly why I knew you'd be good at podcasting. Yappers are just podcasters are just professional yappers, you know?
Maybe I should see this as my calling.
I mean, pray about it. I think you're a natural. So we would just have to like, oh, it could be like, what's the soup with Hillary Campbell? Hmm? And it
Oh,
could be
okay.
like a Hollywood gossip podcast.
Yeah, I don't love that, but that
Okay, what's the soup
that
with
was an
Hillary
idea.
Campbell? It could be like a soup podcast where
Yeah, it's just about soups,
you we're just spitballing. You like,
which is sad because I like have deep hatred for soup.
whoa, now people are getting off the podcast.
I don't understand. It's not food unless I chew it.
You can choose soup.
Some soups, sure.
Put some crackers in. That's what crackers are for.
Then they
All
get soggy and sad.
No, you eat them. You just eat them as fast as possible.
It doesn't make sense to me.
All right. So what? Because I'm locked into the soup metaphor for your podcast.
Sure, sure.
Um. So yeah, we'll just have to figure out how to connect soup. Oh, it could be what soup with Hillary Campbell, and then I could just what soup. Hey everyone, welcome to What Soup. I'm Hillary Campbell. Today's guest is Russell Dietrich. He's going to tell us about why soup is a food.
All right, we've got exactly one episode.
All right. Let's segue to Wicked.
Wow, good.
Um,
Do you know that there's a third version of the battle cry that you've probably never heard? Actually, maybe you have, but
well, you should try it. Let's see if your mic gets muted.
like I can't. I can't. But you have the like the original. I I want to sing it, but I'm too nervous. There's an original, and then in the West End, like in London or whatever, they tend to do a different ending. So I learned that only somewhat recently. That
Oh, fun.
'cause I was deeply upset in the movie. Well, when I first heard Cynthia Erivo's, and I was like, actually, there's been other versions. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. So let's get into Wicked the musical. When did you see it for the first time?
Okay, so Russ, I already told you this. I saw it for the first time after I graduated no, college. So 2018, I went to New York and saw it. And then
That's right, for your graduation trip.
yes, a couple years later, I saw the national tour in Dallas.
Okay, so you've seen it twice.
Yes.
Okay, I saw it in Chicago, and I was Googling this, I think 2005, when, so I was like senior year of high school, right about to graduate, go to college. My friend, her family was going, and like a sibling got sick, and she was like, "Do you want to come?" I was like, "Sure, that sounds fun." Um, so yeah, I did this thing though where I tricked myself in this thinking that I saw it with the original cast members, and I made myself believe that for a good 15 years until I Googled it.
If you saw it in Chicago, you did not see it with them.
I 100% did not see it with the original cast, but it doesn't
That would have been
change.
so cool.
It doesn't change my memory.
Yeah.
Oh man, Idina Menzel is amazing.
So incredible. Glad you got to see her.
Isn't that crazy how our brains can just kind of trick us into?
Yes. Well, I'm sure you saw like video because I've seen lots of videos of her and Kristen Chenoweth. And so I'm like, I feel like I can kind of convince myself even like 18 years, 15 years after it opened that maybe I saw it with them, but I didn't.
Yeah. So it was weird for me. I was 17. I was into like punk alternative music. I was a aspiring artist. Like I felt like I had to hide the fact that I thought that the musical was so great. And I instantly like got the CD and listened to it
Oh
all the
yeah.
time. Started memorizing all the songs. But yeah, it was just for me, I'm not huge into musical theater, but there was just something so
I think it's time for you to
attractive.
admit you just are into musical theater.
Stop. You know what I mean? Like I don't know a ton around like the really, really other than the big ones, you know. But yeah, I was just so struck by how good the music was. And I think there was something about the drums even, like it's a very drum forward musical with like
Mhm.
a kit. And I've often wondered in hindsight if that was part of the reason why I liked it. What was the hook for you? Like what got you obsessed with it?
Yeah, again, it was like the first like I did not know about Broadway really as I
Hmm.
was growing up. So just my theater friends when I'm in like my fifth grade or sixth grade musical, they're talking about Wicked. And I don't know, I think probably the start of it was just I want to be like able to have conversation with them and fit in. So I'm gonna go home and secretly listen to Wicked in my bedroom. But I think Idina Menzel, like she just blew my mind. I just think the music is so powerful in that show.
Hmm.
And I could nerd out for so long on on the music of just like all the themes that kind of come like the unlimited that's like throughout kind of the show or whatever. And at first she's
Please.
talking about like, her and the wizard, like how they're going to be unlimited, and then
Hmm.
her and Elphaba and oh my gosh, Glinda, how they're going to be unlimited, and then eventually she's kind of like, I'm unlimited. Like she kind of
Right.
discovers like, I have it all within myself. It's really, really powerful. I just love the story of the music.
Hmm. Yeah, and it's cool like how I think this is normal for overtures, but like the overture kind of gives you the little foreshadowing of the different themes that are coming through. Um, but yeah, please nerd out as much as possible. That's why I wanted you on here. So, what would be
And
the best way to nerd out? How would you recommend? Would it be good to like talk through your favorite song or?
yeah, yeah. Well, I will say generally in any musical, like the overture is one of my favorite parts. It's like one, it's really fun, especially like if you're in a musical or whatever, and you are backstage. So in Denton we play with a live orchestra. So there's a band there actually playing.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
and it's like the overture just kind of pulls you into the world because, like you said, it gives you kind of a taste of like lots of the different songs.
Hmm.
So you're getting just like it's transporting the audience from wherever they came from today, whatever was going on in their lives, to like I am entering into the world of this musical. And then when you're backstage, you're like we're jamming out to you kind of learn the overture to like, oh, it's this song and then it's this song, and that's like you're kind of getting hype with the people backstage of like it's starting. We're gonna
Hmm.
do this. So anyway, I really like overtures. I also really like about musicals, kind of what I was saying before about like the musical themes that will be present throughout the show before they really get their big, before and after they get their big like number.
Hmm.
And you often have like different melodies that are associated with different characters, similar to the way like in Star Wars you have like you hear, the Darth Vader theme and he's coming, he's around, something bad's happening. That they're like that's happening in musicals too, where it's like, oh, this character, this kind of happens in the music when they walk out.
Like that part that's like dun 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 boom boom. Is
Yeah.
that's for Alphaba, right?
Mhm.
What are the other ones?
I mean, again, the kind of like unlimited theme, like you hear
Oh, that
that,
do 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 do.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that little hopeful too. So again, another thing I love about musicals is you have these like songs with lyrics that are awesome, but seeing the show, the underscoring is like telling a story.
Mm-hmm.
It's And so one of the things that's really hard, well, other people may not find this hard, but that's really hard when you're performing in musical theater is like there's like underscoring that's happening. Your lines have to kind of match up. So you've got to be in time as you even deliver your lines to match up with the music because the story is being told through the music that's happening even underneath the dialogue.
Okay.
Um, and you have that in Wicked too. But yeah, I mean, I am a loser, and so of course Defying Gravity is my favorite song, just like everybody else.
Okay. Okay.
Um, that was the
Uh,
first one I fell in love with.
yeah. Do you remember what was it about Defying Gravity? Because I'll share kind of my experience with it after you go, but I'm just curious, like, what for you, what hooked you into that song?
I mean, first of all, it's just so epic.
Right.
Like, and just the build throughout. I mean, it's a really long song, but like the build throughout of just like she's Elphaba's kind of finding her like her place and just like I need another person. I need the wizard or I need Glinda to just this like no, like
Hmm.
I'm going to fly, which I think is really powerful. And there's probably a part of like little Hillary that was just like, I want to feel like that. And I mean, yeah, musically, it's just so epic. Like Idina Menzel's voice, incredible. She was still in that time of theater where you're using primarily just like a chest belt, which is crazy and not really how people sing now. But I was so just impressed by her ability to just belt out those notes. So I don't know, I kind of all of it of just like it is this epic moment in the musical. So actually, when I saw it for the first time, after years and years of listening to the music, when I saw it on Broadway, I cried so much during
Oh
the.
wow, that's awesome. Yeah, and I know it can feel cliche, be like, oh, defying gravity, but that song did something special in that it it went mainstream, you know, and it Broadway and musical theater doesn't often do that. It doesn't, you know, it's usually the reverse where like the songs from movies that go on to Broadway, then those Broadway versions kind of become popular. But Defying Gravity was one of the instances of it going the other way, of a Broadway song kind of just taking over the popular culture. And I just felt like everybody, it didn't really matter who you were, if you liked musicals or not, like everybody liked this song and the other kind of several songs that became popular in its wake. And that's amazing. I think that's really hard to do. I feel like the next one that really did that afterwards was Hamilton. Like we didn't really
Yeah. Yeah.
have a moment like that till Hamilton kind of broke into the mainstream. So I think it's a great pick, and I'll say this for the movie, because we're definitely not gonna have time to talk about the movie, but I had forgotten like just how uh, illustrative the lyrics were to what were happening in the
Yeah.
story. Because you know I saw it when I was 17. I've forgotten more than I can remember. And I was just like, oh, these lyrics are talking about what's happening in the story. I know it
Yeah.
sounds dumb, but I was just like, it was so cool how the song kind of reflected that real tense moment in their relationship.
Yeah, I think that's like also part of why people just really connect. Like if you do get into musicals to the songs is just because they are so like relatable, I guess, because they're really telling a story. I mean, I guess all songs are that, but I think like musical songs, it's like if I'm feeling whatever, there's a musical song for me to like just scream out that relates to
Hmm.
it.
Yeah, and you don't even need to know the story of Elphaba and Glinda to connect to that song, because like we can all identify with that feeling of like being just weighted down and wanting to fly, you know. So yeah, and I think the other ones that come to my mind are popular. What is this feeling? For good, but for me, I was just curious what you thought of what is this feeling, because that was my favorite song, and I was just curious if you had thoughts on it.
Mm.
You want me to sing it?
Oh, I would love that. Yes,
Well, not
please.
I can't sing it because then I'll get filtered. But what is this feeling so sudden and true? Something something since I laid eyes on you. Something, something. I'm so bad at
Keep
memorizing.
going.
What is this feeling? What do you think of that song? You like it?
Loathing.
Loathing.
Yeah, I no. I think it's fine.
What? Why don't you like it?
I don't know. We were doing karaoke the other night and I sang Defying Gravity and someone asked me to do Loathing with them and I was like, honestly, I don't really know all the words to Loathing because it's just I don't know what it is about it. It's not my favorite. Or what is this feeling? That's not called Loathing. But
Here's what I like about it. Let me convince you.
yes, yes, you tell me.
So I was always someone who I felt like I would end up in friendships like that, where on the surface we seemed like not a good pair, but our differences brought balance to the ecosystem of the friendship, if that makes sense. And I liked the idea of um, two people that society would say like these two people should not be friends. I like that they become really good friends. They become like this team, and that song kind of foreshadows. You think they're never gonna be able to get over it, but they do. And I don't know. It's just like that. You see that a lot in like buddy movies with like Woody and Buzz, or name the buddy cop movie. Like two people that start off not liking each other because of their differences. Those differences are the thing that make them great in the long run.
You know, it's interesting. I love a buddy cop type movie and I've never really associated Wicked as that until this moment. I'm like, yeah, that's
It is.
probably
It's a buddy cop movie.
that is part of why I love Wicked.
Yeah, I
You're
think
so
that I think that's part of its universal appeal because we all kind of like that, opposites attract kind of thing.
Now I have a question on
Yeah.
this, so I guess is a spoiler for anybody who's only seen the movie and not the musical. What are your thoughts on the fact that ultimately Elphaba takes Glinda's man?
Does she
Yeah,
in the musical?
I mean, kinda, yeah.
Um, I think it's fine because I think Glinda has Elphaba takes the guy, right?
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
I think Glinda like she's kind of in love with herself, you know? Like I don't know if she really had room to actually feel anything for him. I think he was more just like a useful presence and wants his usefulness. You know, like she's a very ambitious, driven person. Like she seems
Yeah,
content
sure.
in her
Yeah.
singleness and um I feel like she kind of gave it her blessing, as I recall.
Yeah. I just kind of I feel a little sad for Glinda.
Why?
Just I mean, I get it. They're Fiero and Elphaba are a better fit and
She's rich
okay,
and beautiful. She'll be fine.
sure, no, she needs more.
The sequel, Wicked 2.
Look at you. Yeah, yeah. I'll write that.
Uh, Glinda gets her groove back.
Glenda gets her man. Man.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you this though,
Please.
as we're running out of time. Um, the second act. Here's my issue with musical theater. Okay. My first memory of musical theater was Into the Woods. Into the Woods. Um, and I was like, man, Act One, that was amazing. Um, I didn't know about Act Two because I saw like a high school version and they just stopped after Act One.
Oh, good, good.
What's the deal with Act Twos? Because the thing I like about Wicked is that it has an amazing Act Two. But I
Yes.
feel like in general with musicals, the Act Twos are just insane.
So weak.
With Into the Woods being like the most insane out of all of them. What's the deal with Act Two? Why can't they figure it out? Even with
I
Hamilton, I feel like it like grinds to a halt for a couple songs and then finally gets its momentum back. But
I have no idea. I have had this question for some time
mhm.
because also we saw Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, which used to be two separate musicals, but now they formed it into one, and so it's got a first act and a second act. But in the second act, like the first act, I was like, that may be the best first act in any like musical I've ever seen. Or it's not a musical, sorry, that's a straight play. And then act two, just so bad. Um, I have no idea. I don't know what they have a story and they just like only thought it out so far, but they're like, we need to make more. I don't know.
Yeah, I've wondered if because I have this theory with books that publishers want the spine to be a certain length. So like so I've read like so many books that were 3 to 4 chapters too long, especially nonfiction books, where it's just like it really felt like they were just filling in pages to make the spine thicker. And I've wondered with musicals if there's like this unspoken contract that they have to be 3 hours with an intermission. And maybe musicals really should just be 2 hours.
I mean, I think that is partly right. I agree with you. Another theory I'm developing right now, so you
Yeah,
may immediately poke holes in it,
top of the
is
head.
like first act has to kind of end on this like epic, like cliffhanger type vibe.
Yeah.
Obviously people aren't gonna like leave, so it's not necessarily to keep them, but just like to give intrigue for the second act. You have to end on this like high, like what's gonna happen? And that is like really exciting. So you finish the act like I'm so invested, but it
Right.
has to be solved by the end. So I'm like, is there just a part of it that we like the feeling more of like the intrigue than the like, okay, everything's resolved?
Maybe. That's a good point. I've wondered if I'm more cynical. I think they had a great, you know, the beginning, creativity is just like boom, 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 boom. It's just like flowing out of you. And then you get to a point where you're like, well, we got to finish this set. So I even feel like in the Hamilton book, like Lin-Manuel kind of hints at that a little bit without saying it, you know? Um, because even how musicals are developed over time, it feels like once you have to make the leap to Broadway, like there's an expectation for it to be a bit longer.
Yeah.
Um, but that was the thing about Wicked that I liked was that the second act,
But
I never checked my program once, which for me is like a miracle.
yes, I know the feeling of you're checking how many more songs are left. How long
Yeah.
until yeah, the act two is so good. Part of it is I think because it takes you up to the storyline of Wizard of Oz. So
Hmm.
there's kind of something familiar about it of like, ooh, I'm getting new insight into like something, a story that I've already known.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. And yeah, you kind of get the like you said the evolution on the traditional tale. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, what else do you think makes the second act good in Wicked?
I mean, I think that's a big part of it is or at least that I really like about it is like, oh yeah, I feel like I'm getting to see behind the curtain or something to like
Right.
the story that I've already heard before. Um, I think also it's fun because I think there's like the way Wicked starts, right, is like it starts with the very end, of
Right.
like she's dead. No one mourns the wicked or whatever. And so there's also an intrigue of like what happened between defying gravity to get at that end that they showed us.
Right.
And so you're like also kind of filling in the blanks there of like what how are we getting to the point where Glinda's singing like no one mourns the wicked and what happened to their friendship. And so yeah, I think part of it is just the intrigue of like I'm wanting to fill in the gaps. I need to understand this story.
Yeah. I think too, just pragmatically, I think it's the music stays good too. And the story doesn't go like completely off the rails. The story kind
Yeah.
of stays true to the first act, which I feel like a lot of musicals, the second act is just like the writer started taking mushrooms or something and just was like, I don't know, didn't have a good editor or
Yeah.
something.
I mean, yeah, for good. I mean, everyone loves for good.
Yeah, for good, some people would say is the better of the two than Defying Gravity. I feel like that's a common rehearsal song that actors will use for their rehearsals.
I mean,
Um,
there's so many good songs like that we haven't even mentioned. Like, I'm Not That Girl, love it.
yeah,
The
no
Wizard
good.
and I, so good.
Yeah, no good deed. Yeah, and what's nice about I'm Not That Girl is like, yeah, you get the ditzy blonde, like it's to share like I'm more than that. I'm not just this person from Legally Blonde too. Like, and yeah, that stuff's really relatable, I think.
Now, Russ, I don't want to call you out on your own podcast, but I'm worried that you don't know who sings I'm Not That Girl.
I thought it was Chenoweth.
It's Elphaba.
Oh, dang it. Chenoweth does the reprise.
Like she's into Fiero, but she's like, but I'm not that girl. He likes
You hear that
Linda.
sound?
That sounds like a timer.
Who knows if the timer is accurate, but wait, so I'm Not That Girl, Idina Menzel, track 8,
Yeah.
act 1. The reprise is
Yeah.
in act 2. Isn't Glinda being like, I'm also not that girl,
Okay, fair.
right?
I was talking about the not the reprise.
Okay. But am I remembering that right? Isn't that the moment
And
when
it's Kristen Chenoweth the second time.
we get to see her depth though? Like, I'm not just this
Yeah.
airhead.
Yeah,
Man,
she's really not.
so much more we could get into, but allegedly we are out of time.
Who can say if we are?
I was just so excited to get started. I forgot to. It's also insanely hot, and I'm just like over it right now.
Yeah, I had to close the windows in here because the ice cream truck is outside, and you definitely would have heard that.
That would have been awesome. All right, real quick before we go, are you excited for part two of the movie?
I am. I've said this before, to you. I wanted to hate the movie so bad, but I loved it. So I'm really excited for part two.
Yeah, same. I had a great time. My wife and I like went out on a date. We got a babysitter. We kind of made a fun night of it, and she's very hard on musicals and set dressing, but the minute, again, spoiler alert, the minute they do the cameo with the two ladies, I was like, oh, I'm so in. This is amazing. So yeah, I felt like they did the fan service. I thought the singing was amazing. And even the chemistry between the two, I thought was very believable.
Yeah.
My only gripe was I didn't love Ariana Grande in the first song. I thought she kind of overdid it with that vocal high note thing.
I mean, but that's what it is.
I know Kristen Chenoweth just does it so much
Of
better.
it. I think the problem with Ariana Grande is just like, again, I actually think she did a really good job. She did way better than I thought she would. I just think when I'm looking at her on the screen, though, I still think that's Ariana Grande. I'm not convinced that that's Glinda.
Yes.
I
Yep.
think her star power is too big that it's hard for me to see her as the character and not just herself.
Hmm. You know, Ariana Grande's like first big song was "Problem." Remember that?
Yeah. Hmm.
2014, Iggy Azalea.
Yep. Yep.
Um, that's a great point. Great point. You know what's funny about Kristen Chenoweth?
What?
She sang the national anthem for the NBA Finals on Sunday.
Did not watch
Oh, it was great.
Luca or bust.
Stop. Well, on that note, Hillary, you're a Lakers fan now.
I kind of am. Wait,
Let's
wait.
go
I have to
Lakers.
I have to give us our closing statement. So you tell me when you're ready for that.
Go for it.
I just wanted to say, Russ, who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, I've been changed for good.
Oh, thanks, Hillary. Well, yeah, I'd love to do another episode with you on something, so we'll have to keep in touch. But if people want to connect with you or follow you, what's the best way to do that?
I I'm not I don't know.
You don't
Not
have
an
you
influencer.
don't have a URL?
HillaryCampbellPhotography.com.
Oh, you take photos.
I do. I'm a wedding photographer. I'm a
Oh,
lot of
that's
things.
fun. You have a myriad of talents.
I do. That I do.
All right. Well, you want me to put that in the episode notes?
You can do whatever you want.
All right. Well, whenever there's less fortunate than someone than I, and let's face it, who isn't less
Oh,
fortunate than I? My gentle heart, something something.
tends to start to bleed.
Doo-doo-doo. But yeah, thank you so much. This was a ton of fun. I'm gonna go listen to the musical right now, actually. So, but yeah, we'll drop Hillary's photo site into the notes, and I'm sure you can find her on Instagram, and maybe if you live in Denton, go see her in the upcoming production of Sound of Music.
Yeah, I'll probably do it.
You should do it. All right, we'll see you on Broadway.
Yeah. Next up, Broadway.
All right, thanks, Hillary.
Bye.
Bye.